week on Racing World, we take you to Lone Star Park, Texas for the $14 million Breeders' Cup. The Spring Racing Carnival reaches its peak with the penultimate week. And Group 1 success for Gay Waterhouse in Melbourne. The US $4 million Breeders' Cup Classic would highlight a compelling 8-race program at Lone Star Park in Grand Prairie, Texas. Azeri, with 17 wins in 23 career starts, would attempt to become the first female to win the Classic. Azeri will contend against a highly impressive field that includes Funnyside, the 2003 Kentucky Derby winner and Preakness winner. And his team was confident heading into the Classic.
In the last month and a half, he's been improving you know, to be a much better and stronger horse. And there's no doubt in my mind, he coming to this race in the Breeders' Cup, he's coming better in any other time that he ever run.
Pleasantly Perfect returns from an extended layoff to defend his Classic title. The 6-year-old horse, with more than $7 million US in earnings to his name, attempts to become the second double Classic winner. Trainer Richard Mandela is looking forward to defending his title.
Well, it's like any year at the Breeders' Cup. It's our big day, and it's a lot of pressure this year. We've got a horse that's put himself on top of the world, and it's my job to keep him there. So a little bit of stress involved, but it's the stress that we thrive on and what we look for. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I hope I get to have other days like this as I go along.
Birdstone makes his championship pitch coming off a 63-day layoff. The colt spoiled Smarty Jones's Triple Crown attempt in the Belmont Stakes and can stake his claim to be 3-year-old champion and horse of the year by adding the Classic to his Belmont and Travers wins.
Well, I have all the respect in the world for Smarty Jones. He brought so much to the table, but if this was ever pulled this, I call it a small miracle. If he ever pulled this miracle off, I mean, I don't see how he couldn't be top 3-year-old. I mean, I know poor Smarty fell short this much, but he fell short to Birdstone. So there's only a question, if Birdstone wins, yeah. If Birdstone don't win, it's all Smarty. No big deal. It's an easy thing.
Trainer Bobby Frankel's Ghost Sapper and Dale Roman's Roses in May are both unbeaten this year. Ghost Sapper won the 1 1/8 mile Woodward in his last race, but moves up to a 1 1/4 mile race for the first time. Roses in May, one of 3 top Breeders' Cup contenders, owned by Ken and Sarah Ramsey, is 5 for 5. First up, we take you to Lone Star Park and the Breeders' Cup turf.
Grand Prairie, Texas, where Ashado has become the 7th.
Jose Santos. There in the gate. And they're off. So a late start there for Powers Court. He spots them a couple lengths as they leave the starting gate. Down the back stretch, and as
Better Talk Now bothered both Magistretti and Kitten's Joy in the stretch as he made his move in front in the Breeders' Cup turf at Grand Prairie. Better Talk Now drifted in the path of Magistretti and bumped Kitten's Joy, the 7-10 favourite, who was trying to angle off the rail. The stewards took no action after several reviews of the stretch run. Longshot Better Talk Now surviving the inquiry to win the $2 million Breeders' Cup turf.
A mile and a quarter.
A 13-horse field considered the best in the 21-year history of the race would start in this year's running of the Breeders' Cup.
And they're off. And Ghost Sapper comes away alertly on the inside. Free for Internet backs off him, and Azeri takes the D inside. It's a big opening for Azeri on the inside of Ghost Sapper, who's guided well. Azeri doing her best, but she's now 5th. In between horses, perfect drift. Ghost Sapper kicking clear, and Ghost Sapper is pulling away impressively. And a pumped-up Javier Castellano. They have soundly defeated Roses in May. Pleasantly Perfect was a well-beaten 3rd. Perfect Drift was 4th. This was a no...
Trainer Bobby Frankel finally breaking through in the Breeders' Cup Classic with Ghost Sapper blazing the victory in America's richest race. Defending champion Pleasantly Perfect running 3rd, Belmont Stakes winner Birdstone 7th, and Funnyside, last year's Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner, running 10th.
County Tyrone despite his...
Now we head back to Melbourne, Australia, with only a handful of days remaining in the lead-up to the $4.6 million Melbourne Cup. The Derby meeting had the added bonus of some genuine spring weather, and a crowd in excess of 100,000 was on hand for the 3rd race on the card, the SAAB Quality Handicap over 2,500 metres.
At Geelong. Catch Me If You Can moved in. So Winning Bell comes up. The last mare to win at Pindy in '94. They're set. Off they go. Catch Me If You Can and Yuma King both a little slow. Winning Bell began fast with Denazri. Tomorrow's Party jumped away quickly. And Winning Bell had no trouble in scooting across the field down to the judge to lead 2 lengths Don Rafael. In third placing is Denazri. County Tyrone is a length away in fourth. Catch Me If You Can starting to go around them in the purple colours from County Tyrone. Tomorrow's Party a length in Beeley. Then Bedouin the outside of set up 2 to Yuma King. Tintagel getting his head up second last, and last is Manawa King. Winning Bell to the 2,000 metres, the leader on the riverside. Don Rafael is a length away second. Denazri on the rails in third. Catch Me If You Can improving on his outside. They were closely followed by County Tyrone in a nice trailing position. The top weight is fifth, a length and a half Tomorrow's Party. 2 lengths in Beeley, followed then by Set Up, and next is Bedouin. 2 lengths to Yuma King, and Manawa King at the end of the field in company with Tintagel at the 1,600, and Winning Bell on top. Catch Me If You Can a half length away second. A length and a half away is Don Rafael, the outside of Denazri. They were being trailed 2 lengths away by County Tyrone. Fifth outside Tomorrow's Party, 2 in Beeley, 1 to Set Up. Nearly a length away at the 1,400, then came Bedouin from Yuma King, and then second last Tintagel with Manawa King at the tail of the field. Winning Bell doing her own stuff out in front. At the 1,200 metres, she's having a loaf in front by a length. Catch Me If You Can is second. 2 lengths away third, Denazri. Don Rafael's a neck away fourth, the outside, and 2 lengths to County Tyrone. He's followed Tomorrow's Party a length and a half to Mbili. They're trailed at the 1,000-metre mark by Set Up, and then trailed almost a length further back as Bedouin. Yuma King on the rails, and then came Tintagel and Manawa King. Up the side, and it's Winning Bell in front, given every chance by Chris Muntz at the 800. Catch Me If You Can's now going to make her work a little bit before the turn. A length and a half away, Denazri's had a dream run on the inside of Don Rafael. County Tyrone's had good transit as well. Tomorrow's Party in the red cap held up about fifth as Bedouin starts a run, and coming with it is Mbili, with Yuma King back behind these trying to search for an out. Tintagel pulled right to the outside with Manawa King. Winning Bell at the 400 had the lead narrowly, but Don Rafael straight up with great purpose and joins her. Catch Me If You Can battling away in the centre. A break then to County Tyrone. Denazri can do no more, and then Tomorrow's Party. It's Don Rafael at the 200 from Winning Bell. Catch Me If You Can, and further back is County Tyrone. 100 left to go. Don Rafael in front of Winning Bell, and Catch Me If You Can. Don Rafael is just the leader, and Don Rafael gets home from Winning Bell and Catch Me If You Can. Just behind them, Denazri and County Tyrone. Followed further back Tomorrow's Party, Manawa King, and a break to Yuma King. Next to finish was Tintagel and Bedouin with Set Up and Mbili at the tail. Don Rafael has got home for Glenn Boss. 2 in a row for Glenn, and Don Rafael, the unlucky runner of the Geelong Cup, takes out the money. Second placing goes to number 6, Catch Me If You Can. Catch Me If You Can has got into the cup, and third is Winning Bell.
Yes, he has, into the Melbourne Cup, and you came here, Tuesday's work was good. You were pretty confident going into this today.
Yeah, he done everything right. Like everyone's seen how unlucky he was at Geelong, so you know, with fair running today, I thought he'd be very hard to beat.
Okay, you're in the Melbourne Cup, but you've got to get a jockey.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be a problem. I'm sure the phone will be ringing.
I think just the way he finished off, he kept finding the line today. Yeah,
he just seems to be, you know, he keeps running, so I don't think the 2 miles will worry him.
Don Rafael saluting in a SAAB quality in a very tight finish by a neck from Catch Me If You Can, with a short half head to Winning Bell. Coming up next, time to raise your glasses to the West Australian contingent in full flight. Now to the running of the $1.5 million Victoria Derby. First won in 1855 by Rose of May. Among the contenders this year, West Australian entry Plastered would start favourite for the journey of 2,500 metres.
Classic. White-capped Cedar Manor, Damien Oliver on board looking for his 4th win. King Durham is set. And so they're just about right, just the last couple. Heavenly Pun, Greg Childs, twice a winner in 97 and 98. Brings Heavenly Pun into the outside. Mr. Martini coming up, can lightning strike again for Leon. So the field is ready. Set for the Derby. Now Plastered tried to get his head over the gates. They're off, and he jumped okay, Plastered. Soy Cowboy away well. Count Ricardo straight out the back despite being scrubbed up. Lionsgate found the lead. Savabeel was away well. King Durham and Heavenly Punter pressing on in the early stages, and Mr. Martini is fifth, and he's got across near the rails, followed by Cedar Manor, Soy Cowboy. Plastered went back to second last, and Count Ricardo was last. The Derby field heads out now towards the 2,000 metres, and it's Lionsgate on top by a length and a half. King Durham is second, 2.5 lengths away is Heavenly Pun. Savabeel is fourth on the inside. He looks to have settled beautifully, and the speed is very generous. About 4 lengths to Mr. Martini. A length away in the field, then came Cedar Manor, followed by Soy Cowboy. At the end, Plastered on the outside of Count Ricardo. Out towards the 1,700 metres now, and out in front, Danny Nikolic on Lionsgate. He's going to make it a very fast run derby, and he leads by 3 lengths. King Durham is in second placing. 2 lengths away is Heavenly Pun on the outside of Savabeel. A length and a half further back in the field is Mr. Martini on the outside of Cedar Manor, who's throwing his head about, just racing a little bit ungenerously there. Followed a length away then to Soy Cowboy, Count Ricardo, and the West Australian Plastered. Last of all on the outside, about 10 lengths covering the field, and it's Lionsgate by 3 lengths. King Durham in second placing, 1.5 away Heavenly Pun by the 1,200 metres. Next is Savabeel over on the inside. He's holding down 4th place. They're being followed a length and a half away then by Mr. Martini. Cedar Manor on the fence, and then came Soy Cowboy, Count Ricardo second last, and Plastered last on the outside. At the 900 metres down the side, and Lionsgate still with a good lead. He's out the best part of 3. King Durham second, Heavenly Pun a half length away third. Savabeel on the inside of Mr. Martini, 2 lengths away Soy Cowboy, Cedar Manor, another 2 to Count Ricardo, and Plastered last as they sweep up towards the turn. It's Lionsgate leading narrowly from King Durham. Heavenly Pun has flushed out 3 wide. Savabeel right behind them, waits on a run. The orange blinkers of Mr. Martini are next. Count Ricardo getting up on the inside, and then Cedar Manor. They're into the straight now. King Durham's gone to the lead. Getting up on the rails now is Savabeel and Heavenly Pun on the outside. They're the 3 leaders down towards the 300 where Savabeel shoots through on the fence, out by 2 lengths now to Heavenly Pun. Here comes Plastered. He's rocketing home on the outside. The West Australians gobbling in Savabeel and Count Ricardo. 100 left to go. It's Plastered taking the lead. Could he be the superior stayer? Count Ricardo's rallying on the fence, but it is Plastered too good, and Plastered wins it by a length and a quarter. Either Count Ricardo or Savabeel for the minor end of the prize. Soy Cowboy has run 4th, and a break behind them is Heavenly Pun with Mr. Martini, Cedar Manor and King Durham, and back at the tail end of the field is Lionsgate. Stand by for numbers. Plastered has blown them away with an outstanding staying performance to win the Amy Victoria Derby, running away from them. Number 2, Plastered for Paul Harvey and Lindsay Smith. It's a photo for the miners, but it is all Plastered at the business end. Storming run, he settled last. It was a fast run derby, and he was able to mow them down with those huge bounds at the 200 metres, and he has fairly outstayed them to win the derby and win his 7th from only 8 race starts. Trained by Lindsay Smith and ridden by Paul Harvey, the Pontiff has won the big one. 2:35.4. It was a fast run race. Lionsgate led them, but he punctured very quickly at the home turn. Savabeel went through and took the lead. Count Ricardo came with a run, but Plastered just swallowed them up with a wonderful, irresistible finish near the 200 metres that saw him drawing away from his opposition. It's very close for the minor end of
Plastered with another brilliant win, the gelding taking his total to 7 from 8 starts. Trainer Lindsay Smith never in doubt.
Lindsay Smith, congratulations on that. In the end, you did it easy.
Yeah, it was a good win at the end. I was a bit worried early, but the pace was quite hard, and maybe fell into his play. So the last 300 had become, a Dow test for the 2500. So we trained on him at home to be that situation. It worked out.
And really, with the pace on, you settled back, but quick burst at the 300.
Yeah, he's Paul knows what he's doing. As I said before, he's rode him all his work at home. Yeah. He knows how superior fitness that the horse has got, so he knew he could start working and keep grinding to the line, and it worked out today.
Plastered with a blistering run from the back of the field to take the derby by 1 1/4 lengths from Savabeel, and the $800 purchase Count Ricardo once again more than capably taking third, and $135,000 for his owners. Coming up next, we're back at Flemington for the McKinnon Stakes.